Yeah, definitely had time to put my hat back on, you know, and so did you, right?
Unlucky, huh?
Yeah, that was a scrappy game. I think that was something we said pretty much all the way through. It went back and forward all the way until we saw the CT side come out from forZe, and then it was just like mainly a few rounds where they tried to be proactive that then went the way of GODSENT.
It was not a beautiful game of Counter-Strike. No, it was exciting. It was fun to watch. We got to see, you know, some of the future stars of the game, dare I say it. Maiden had a good start to the game, very impactful. We also saw him make a lot of mistakes, so definitely some VODs to look at if you're GODSENT when you get home. And that Inferno match, whereas for forZe, it looked like they were playing a little bit on the back heel in the beginning of the game. They weren't really, you know, playing up to par with what we expect from a team like them, but they got after it, right? They actually seemed to be in pretty much full control after that second half. So kudos to forZe. Whereas for GODSENT, a worrying signal, I would say. They got us to a good start, very aggressive start, but couldn't really keep up the pace. And the question is if that's going to change in Dust2. It's a map that both of these teams like to play, a map that we've seen GODSENT play so far in the tournament already. They beat Crazy, I believe, 16-7 with a very convincing performance. So if that's the level they're going to display today against forZe, then would have to see Exipower, would have to see Almacer, would have to see FaceCrack play some of the great Counter-Strike we know they can if they want to contest that.
Well, yeah, I think it almost looked like a little bit of a slow start from forZe, and I also wonder if I think that when they are the favorite or when they are one of the favorites in the tournament,
sure, they
play worse.
Okay.
I think if you look at, like, for example, Moscow, where no one expected them to win the event, so when they got right to the final, it was sort of like one of those things where you're like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And so I don't even think they expected to get there. Whereas here, at this point, they probably should win the tournament. I think it's them or Tricked. Like, those are the two teams where I think like they have the potential to actually win events. Like, you've seen Tricked in the past as well. They've been like very good, at least at V4, and if they play to their top level, they have the like depth as well. And I think forZe are one of the teams that if they're going to make that next step, they need to start winning events.
And you know what those two teams have in common? They are both teams who play as teams. They're both teams who rely on team play, both teams who rely on a structure, on a foundation, all these fine and fancy words that you can attach to Counter-Strike teams. Whereas for teams like GODSENT, I think that's where they're trying to go. I think that's what they're trying to get at, you know, but it's still early days for them. Whereas for Crazy, for example, we know them to be this, you know, the European little brother of FaZe Clan, so to speak.
They're like a fireball.
They're like a fireball. Let's put it that way. They can definitely be very aggressive. Map 2 coming up here. It's going to be Dust2. We have GODSENT starting on the attacking side, going up against forZe, who have invested a little bit into this round. Obviously, 4 guys with armor, and then Jerry with 2 flashes and a kit. It's probably a good idea to have that available. Whereas for GODSENT, 2 guys with flash and smokes. Question is, what are they going to use those for? Fast down towards lower dark. Exipower in an up front position here. Maybe he can catch off a guy in a second. No, it's going to be the other way around. Then catching off Split, and here we go. Great start for GODSENT. Exipower, he's going to continue this aggression though, not falling back.
Yeah, almost looking to try and rectify the fact that they've lost a man so early on and keeps map control and information, but didn't actually check. I'm quite surprised by that, knowing that there was already someone in the tunnel. Maybe didn't expect them to push that far forward, but hey, that's a second kill, a second opener. And as we sort of mentioned yesterday, when we saw GODSENT playing with an advantage versus Crazy, they looked really good. Like, the second they got that opener, the round almost seemed over.
Sure didn't. Here we go. Solo to Elmas here. He's not going to be able to connect more than just one, which is totally understandable. Jerry coming in fast here, though. Not going to be able to find anything. It's going to be up to him and FaceCrack. Jerry does respond back with a single kill here, though. Keeps it in question still. Could be an opening coming in from forZe Clan here. Now we go in for the bomb plant. He actually gets him down. Michael Lille missing a lot of bullets right now. Not able to connect it. There we go. Putting it down to a 1 versus 2. Jerry down to 27 HP. Gets that kill on Michael Lille. Is a 1-on-1 now. And he's going to be aggressive with it. He's going to find this kill. And he gets it. There we go, Jerry. That is beautiful. I don't know what on earth went wrong for GODSENT right there. Michael Lille dropping a lot of shots he shouldn't have missed. The bomb went down when he was trying to plant as well. That was a 3 versus 2 retake scenario. You should not be able to win that. Beautiful from Jerry, though. Connecting that bullet right there onto Crystal. Not easy, especially not with 27 HP. Whereas for GODSENT, that was... that's a bad start, right? You just lost the first map. You get up 5 versus 3, and then you somehow manage to throw it away anyway.
5v3, 4v2, and then after that... And you at that point, they had the sight.
Yeah.
In a 4v2. Like, you should never be losing that round. Like, that is a big mistake. Props to Jerry for being able to find openers. And, well, we saw about the Madman, or Madden as he's somehow known. He's just going to run down mid and find an entry. And again, this was something that they did often versus Crazy.
Yeah, they should be aware of that. Maiden was going out of middle doors pretty much 10 out of 15 rounds in that game, so he's going to be there a lot. Jerry, again, in a good position here and long. He's going to be the guy who has to stop it. Spots the guys, not able to connect the kill. He's going to go down without a single kill here. That's a big problem. Face break in the open, though. Not able to connect more than one either. Look at the HP, though. 1 on Michael, 12 on Crystal. You could advocate that they're a little bit unlucky right now if you're a forZe fan, but if you're not connecting the bullets, you're not getting the kills, it is what it is. 10 in a good position here, and he's going to take down Elmas, and that's going to be it. All up to Flit, and it's all falling apart for the CIS squad here. GODSENT not really doing anything out of the ordinary. Maiden getting that opening kill in middle. Really pushed around the rotation from the CIS squad. Jerry wasn't able to follow up on the beautiful pistol round. He had missed a few bullets. Same goes on for FaceCrack, and here we are. 1-1, and you know, that may be even a better start. I know you gave up the pistol round, but if you're instantly buying back and you're winning that round, you're putting yourself in a very comfortable position.
Oh yeah, it's one of the only ways that the CT side can be fully reset with $1,400 because of the bonus you get after a pistol. So yeah, it's almost a better scenario financially. You get some of the weaponry that was bought up by your opposition as well. As you can see, they've got a couple of MP9s and M4 as well. Looking like we might have some sort of tech pause.
A little bit of a tech pause. It happens, you know. It's computers and wires and all that kind of stuff. You know what? I've played Counter-Strike for 12 years, and I have no idea how computer functions. If it doesn't turn on when I hit turn on, I'm just lost, you know.
Do you just, like, kick it a bit?
Yeah.
I just imagine you, like, and just, like, throwing it somewhere.
I legit had a monitor at a certain point who, for whatever reason, didn't want to show the picture or show whatever it had to show me. I then hit it with the fist, and it worked fine after. So there's something to be said about that work sometimes.
The magic fist.
Not going to name the brand of the said monitor. Probably wouldn't be fair, but it was with me for 5 years, so I like that.
I don't think that'll be in their branding. Just like punch it and it will fix.
Well, it has a charm to it, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, as long as they turn on when I hit the turn on button, I'm happy for it. Now Mikey Lillet with the scout, not able to connect through the doors. He's going to be faced by Exipower, I believe, down here. He's going to be so aggressive with that scout as well. The duel that I look forward to seeing. There we go. Mikey Lillet gets the tag on Exipower. He falls away down into CT spawn. He goes. While that happened, FaceCrack is gaining some ground. Pushed all the way up to middle here with a deagle. This could be dangerous. They invested a lot into this round. See the GODSENT players there all out towards long. Flit getting caught off guard. Maiden taking down Exipower, and here we are. Kills all over the map. And forZe once again falls short.
Yeah, all they can really hope to do is retrieve a weapon here, and that's going to be easier said than done. Just different challenges across the map. Nice shot from FaceCrack. Has the chance for a second as well, and that's not bad. 2 players, 3 players dropped by FaceCrack. There's only one more on the side. Maiden will finally put him down, but that is far more cost than we ever expected in that round. Some beautiful shots hit by FaceCrack, and well, Almeza, no way he wins the round, doesn't have time. But that one more kill, and the other player was actually still quite far away. Who knows where this goes?
Yeah, I like the fact that FaceCrack gets 3 amazing deagle kills, and the initial response from Maiden is, yeah, I'm going to fight you. I don't care. I like that confidence, but again, it's sometimes a little bit of irrational confidence, I think, coming out from this guy. But again,
the other 3 players thought that as well.
Yeah, the other 3 players probably thought that as well. I can tell you that we can see the chat going on as well, and they're all saying nice shot. They're all giving him a compliment, you know, good sports from the Swedish team here.
Would they have said it if they lost the round?
They probably wouldn't have said it. But look at that. That third one coming right here. That is beautiful. Oh, Sticko, sit down. Sit down. Well, there we go. Another round going the way of GODSENT. Another round where forZe have no money whatsoever. Should be a relatively easy one for Crystal right here. Just gonna farm some kills with the SG. Together with Sticko. We actually tack down to 10 HP. Doesn't matter though. As long as you survive, you bring the weapon into next round. Doesn't matter how much HP you survive with. Elmas there with a CC. Not much he can do from this position either. So once again, I feel we got a little bit of a déjà vu from the first game on Inferno. GODSENT off to a good and very aggressive start. Question is, now that forZe is going to be able to buy all the guns they want, can they keep it up?
Yeah, the good thing for the T's at least, even though that everything sort of went a bit wrong at the end of the last round, they have got so much money in the bank. Like, Zen is already in round number 5, and he was close to 10K starting this round. Everybody's over $4,000, $5,000, so they are definitely set. We're going to see a little bit of... Oh my god. We got there in the end.
We got there.
3 players trying to boost up, and, well...
But look at this buy coming out from forZe, right? You look at the utility. Almasir has nothing. Exi power only on an AWP, small armor, no utility. Flip with a single flash. Jerry with a single smoke and a single flash. And FaceCrack with a Molotov and a flash. That's not a lot of utility. Especially not considering we only played 20 seconds of this round. So if GODSENT were to read that correct, if they are aware that the utility is going to be very limited on the side of forZe, which should be possible for them to read considering how much they bought up in these echo rounds, they should just play it out slow, make sure to drag out as much of that utility as absolutely possible, then hit a bomb site late. Because they got everything they want. Look at Michael Lilly, even got a Zeus attached to his name. Why on earth would he have a Zeus?
Let's just hope he doesn't use scroll wheel.
Yeah, Jesus. I'd like to see a Zeus kill though.
Yeah, I would. I don't know if it's the prime weapon to have when you're using a scout, but we'll see. 45 seconds left as they do sort of the similar stuff we saw in the game versus Crazy, like taking control, using their utility, and Maiden going to be there to get the open. Exi Power actually manages to fall back. Looking to try and spot these players, but both will fall.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing right there. Let's be honest. FaceCrack, he was being caught off guard completely alone. I know he had Exi Power behind him, but there's no way for him to go. If he's lucky, he gets 1 kill and he goes down. Same goes on for Exi Power, and then you have a 3 versus 3 retake scenario where the terrorists have all the utility in the world, and we just concluded before that forZe didn't have any utility whatsoever. So even best case scenario with those 2 positions, it ends up in a bad situation. That's something you got to think about when you make those setups. I think FaceCrack should definitely have fell back when he was Molotov the way. Then Exi Power could have stayed, taking a single shot, then fall back as well. So by the looks of it right now, it seems like the way that GODSENT is approaching this T side and the way that forZe is approaching their CT side, it's definitely heavily favoring towards the T right now. Trying to save a few guns though. Maybe they could be useful in the next round. No need to go for more. Still decent amount of money on the Swedish side here, especially considering they got the bomb plant and they got another round on the board. But yeah, a little bit disappointed with forZe so far. I think that the way they're approaching the CT side right now is just a little bit random, you know. That setup wasn't a pre-planned setup, and if it was, then it was one of the worst ones I've ever seen. So can't give them credit for that one.
Well, this round at least, they do get to keep a couple of weapons. Give them a chance to win the round. They're going to go fairly aggressive in their play towards short, and nobody on B, but the T's don't know that. In fact, they're going to challenge onto long, maybe expecting there to be limited weaponry, which there is, and well, definitely not expecting anybody to just run up the top of mid. They're going to try and capitalize on this, make their way into the A site. There is only going to be 1 man ready and waiting. He needs to crack a few faces once again, and actually Almeza is well placed. This is a good chance now as they've left it down to just 2 players. Zen only died once, but I have a feeling that might change. Trying to hold on, the jump scout not hitting any of the shots, and they still need to clear Almeza from the back of this site. Just ready and waiting. It's even going to be the peak though. Zen again finds another. Spots them trying to wrap around. 1 more for Zen as well. He's on 4 already. And it's left onto Jerry to try and clutch out a round that was looking good for forZe. He gets the first kill, but Zen, he can just run away. He can fade back to the B site. He can make the cross without any real trouble. Although Jerry is going to be watching the angle, waiting. Peeks out and finds the kill as well. forZe just about steal it. It's Jerry once again with a big play, but Zen, he really tried.
Yeah, another crazy round. I don't even know what to say. I like GODSENT. They are very, very, very determined in the way they want to play. As soon as the first player goes down, they decide, all right, we're just going to rush up long, all 4 together, and I like that. The problem is maybe lack of utility usage in this situation. There was 3 players on catwalk, or at least in the open, where 1 single flash would have been enough to end their lives. They didn't throw that 1 flash. They took the duels instead, and they lost them. So instead of playing the advantage with the utility, they believe too much in their own abilities in terms of basically just dueling the players, and that turned out to be a cruel mistake. Again, it's okay, it's just a single round, but it was a round forZe had no business winning. They should have lost that one, and it should have been 5-1 for GODSENT. And this, again, this could be the way in for the CIS squad. You don't want to give them confidence. You don't want to give a guy like Exi Power a feeling that, all right, guys, this is doable. We know how good he can be. This time around, though, flash play coming into catwalk. FaceCrack not able to connect the shot on Maiden. Question is, what's the response gonna be from forZe? Exi Power once again walking up with AWP. Spots the head of 2 players. Question is, can he connect it? He cannot this time around. Jerry, though, in a very upfront position. He connects the first one, gets taken down once again by Maiden. And this time again, it's all up to Exi Power, all by himself with an AWP.
1 kill so far, but he's doubled that already. a man in the back lines, and he won't be able to hit that shot, but did Flit just get a jumping shot with the M4? That's what it looked like, at least. The bomb down, so they are going to have to fight versus the AWP. He knows that there's a man in this corner. Him versus Makalele, and he hits the shot through the corner of the box. Zen, he's been great so far, but he can't do anything.
What's going on, Tom? Why, if you're Makalele, you wait for your teammate to come up and you help you. I know he's feeling pressured. He's being felt like he's being pushed into a corner, but if he's going to die through that box, that would mean that Power has to open himself completely, and that would give a free kill to Zen coming from Catwalk. I see a few mistakes being thrown out right there by GODSENT, and it feels to me like we're seeing the exact same thing happen as we saw in Inferno. GODSENT actually play well. They have a good idea of how they want to open the rounds. They're winning the duels. They are great individual players. Zen right now sitting at 11 frags as well, 3 deaths, but they're just not being cool enough. You know, they're not finishing off the rounds the way they should be. It's not good enough if you want to win. Almaster take down Maiden. Now it's starting to fall apart. It was looking so good for the Swedes up until the point they lost that anti-eco.
Well, this is risky from FaceCrack. Just gonna wait to hope that the smoke's in his favor, and the flashbang, I think, actually landed just behind him and covered off Stico. So that will be the trade back. It's only the SMG lost. Power again is going to be pressured, and the flashbang leaves him completely blind. This time, the utility has been used well, but he hasn't been forced off the angle. Does he know they're as close as they are? No, he doesn't. Misses the flick, and that's going to be the opener that pretty much gives the site over. However, the flank has come in very quickly indeed. Jerry manages a kill once again. He gets traded out, and the jump up from Crystal hands the kill. Luckily, Makalele's there to find his 3rd of the round, and GODSENT, they get their 5th.
Yeah, they sure do. Again, another round that comes down to a 1 versus 1. It's back and forth. Trade frags coming in left and right. And there seems to be no real structure to this game right now. It's fast-paced Counter-Strike, and you know what? GODSENT, they may thrive with this, but it's at a point right now where you lose this next round, you're out of money. You don't have a lot of money to work with.
Luckily, that's already happened to the CT
That's
side.
already happened to forZe. Yeah, that's the problem. It's been such a close-played game. Seem to have some more technical issues. Could be the sound, could be something else. We can theorize about that from now on until Christmas, but
I think they were typing, actually, in the game, that there was some earphone, headphone problems.
okay,
so
well, then
there you go, you were spot on.
Yeah, well, it is. It is what it is, Tom. We got a situation. It's 5-3 for GODSENT. It's been back and forth. The game hasn't been pretty. No one have really established any, dare I say, presence on the map in the sense that now this is our area. You know, GODSENT, they're playing fast right now. I like the pace coming out from them. I would just like to see them close out the rounds a tiny bit more efficiently. And if they can do that, I believe this could easily be a half where they go up, you know, 10, 11, maybe even 12 rounds at this point if they eliminate those mistakes. Problem is they've been making a lot of them, not only on Dust2 so far, but also on Inferno. So it'll have to change now. Good thing for them, though. They're going to be faced with 4 USPs and a single deagle, I believe that is, maybe a P250. So that should be relatively easy for the Swedes to get a clean, crisp round here and maybe build up some confidence into the following buy round.
Well, we've already seen what one deagle can do. It is on a different player. It's going to be Armeza this time, and I imagine that one flashbang is just going to be used for them to burst middle at some point. Just go running forward, hopefully try and catch a timing on a player or two and get a kill. That's basically it. They just want to keep the economy of their opponents low, and GODSENT are currently trying to build it. They've got 2 MAC-10s in this buy, so it really is just basically the opposite of each effect. Like, forZe want to try and limit their opponents, GODSENT want to try and make some cash.
Look at this flash, though, from Power that could deem to be very useful. Unfortunately, they're not deciding to go that way, and Stuko, he's going to be in a good position there to get some kills. Gets back down to 14 HP, decides to hide away, stay alive, let Zen do the job. And my God, has he been able to do so far in this game. Sitting at 13 frags. Maiden comes down with a MAC-10 kill, farming up some more money. Jerry with a consolidation frag, but that's going to be it. I don't believe Flit is going to be able to get anything more out of this round, and that's somewhat to be expected with the low investment coming into this one. Now, Stuko is down to 14 HP. He does have an SG. If Flit somehow can get hands on that one, that could be a valuable weapon taking into next round. And there we go. Now he has it. Question is, can he get out of this duel as well? It cannot. Maiden snipes him down with a MAC-10 from that distance. I like that. You know, it's not often you see them a MAC-10 win a duel, you know, in that distance against an SG.
With 20 HP as well.
20 HP. Yeah, it was actually quite impressive. But it worked out in the end, and I think both teams can be relatively happy for that round. It doesn't really matter. GODSENT putting on another one, 6-3. We got a tactical... Oh, sorry, we got another tech timeout. Apparently some more sound issues from the forZe side. So, Tom, you asked me yesterday, and you asked me the day before that, if you're GODSENT right now, how many rounds would you feel comfortable having moving into second half?
Comfortable, I think well, considering the current scoreline, I think they'd want 9. But just because of how well they performed so far. If it's just basics, I think 7 or 8. But
okay.
I think realistically, if you go into a half, you can win it with 6. But I think if you're winning 6-3 and you finish a half 9-6, then you're not going to be happy with that. I think you'll be fairly demoralized that you didn't do anything for the last 6 rounds of the half.
I definitely buy that argument. I would say that if GODSENT wants to win this map, they need at least 10 T rounds. I think forZe is a strong T-sided team. I know XPower is very efficient with the AWP on the T side. Michael Lille, though, burning down to 34 HP. Took a little more damage than he may would have liked. But yeah, as said, I think GODSENT really needs to put 4 more rounds on the board for them to feel really comfortable moving into second half. Otherwise, all it takes is a pistol round from forZe and they'll be straight back into the game. Now, another buy round here. Maiden still on a Mac 10. Question is how they're going to use that on him. He's probably going to be the first guy running in towards Catwalk. Jerry with some aggression towards Catwalk once again. It hasn't worked out at all for forZe so far in this game. XPower there to follow it up, though. Nice refrag on Crystal. When do they learn, though? That late aggression towards Catwalk has failed every single time they've tried. Maybe it's time to do something new if you're from that CIS squad.
They did it with no nades as well.
Like, yeah, it was just random.
It's so risky. The chance of reward is slim. Zen trying to go for a bit of a pre-fire, just through the edge of the smoke. XPower's repositioned. He's only really had 1 big round so far, but there's always a chance for another one. Just going to fall back and opt to stay alive. It's looking like they're going to just wait for an after-plant position. Still wary of somebody being in mid, which there is.
If I'm not mistaken, there's no kit on the CT side either.
No.
It's going to be a tough retake. No utility, no kit, Tom. What's the play?
Well, they don't have much control either. Sticko just holding off rotation. That's such an important kill, though. And with a double orb setup in play, I think it was necessary. This retake, probably quite unlikely without it. They now look to get onto the site. Again, Makalele is going to be in the same corner, and I think XPower knows. He's just going to be waiting. Maybe get one of his teammates to tap onto the bomb. They kill him off, but they need to be defusing.
No.
They need to be defusing. I don't think they even have enough time, do they?
No. What on earth are they doing? They go down all 4 players in a round they wouldn't necessarily say easily could have won, despite the fact having no kit. I don't know why, like, you just said 1 player on the bomb straight away. That's the only chance you have of winning the round. You just have to hope that the rest of the guys can cover you.
Well, I think with XPower watching that corner and knowing someone's there,
sure.
I don't know why the AUG player who did go and defuse the bomb ran around that corner to kill him. Like,
no, it's just pure miscommunication, but, you know, it sucks. And now we see GODSENT up 7-3. We see them rushing towards the B bomb side against an eco. I like that. There's 2 guys in the defended, though. They're getting a single kill, but that's not going to be enough. They fall short. And we have another round that is pretty much already over, unless FaceCrack can do some crazy stuff with the deal again. Not the case this time around, and there we go, 8-7 for GODSENT. Wow, a lot of stuff is happening in a relatively short amount of time on this map. It's tough to keep up with. I'm struggling, you know, to sense what the hell is going on with this game, and I can definitely understand why the viewers at home would maybe feel the same. But fact of the matter is, GODSENT is up 8-3, and they're feeling it right now. They're feeling confident, and they're playing fast-paced Counter-Strike, and I like that a lot.
Well, it also seems like the response so far from forZe has been, okay, let's buy another AWP. Let's really try and work this pick play, which it hasn't worked for them at all. Like, the aggression they've tried onto short has been so one-dimensional. And just been them pushing really aggressively. Makalele wanted an extra kill to his stats.
Yeah, why not? It's always good with a little bit of a stat padding.
Were you that guy? Were you the eco frag hunter?
Actually, I was never allowed to be because I had a guy on my team who would do that for me. And I'm not going to mention any names, but he may...
You really want to, don't you?
Yeah, I really want to. He's playing for North right now. He starts with an A. He was so good. He was one of the best players in the world at that time, so I don't blame him. AC, what a player.
I think everybody had worked out by that point.
No, but it's always good, you know, to get a little extra confidence, and Kill does build up confidence, so I couldn't blame him back then, and surely can't blame him now. So, Michael Lille, you're excused. GODSENT again in a very comfortable position now. If you're forZe, what are you going to do? You said it yourself. The AWP player from XC Power hasn't really had the impact that you want to. I would like to see them stop with the catwalk aggression. I would like to see them stop going down to some silly plays. And I would like to see exactly what I'm seeing from XC Power, some impact. Now Flit, once again, decides to go aggressive on catwalk. This could work out fine, but there's a timing with Zen from lower dark. He just misses him. XC Power, though, thinks it's clear. And there we go. Once again, the aggression falls short from forZe. They had a great opening to the round. 5 against 4 in the beginning. You have plenty of utility. You have all the grenades. You have all the weapons you want. Please, please, please sometimes just conduct yourself, control yourself, and don't push the issue. Now you gave it all up, and you got a 3 versus 3 going on.
Yeah, and this is more a 1 versus 3. Like, this is all onto Armeza. Just look at the other 2 players. They're so deep within the A site. There hasn't been much B present from GODSENT, but they tried it in the previous round. It was massively successful. They're going to try it again. Nice shot to start things off. The second as well for Armeza. He almost does it all, but Maiden is going to be there on the trade, and he's given his team a fantastic chance of winning this round. Face Crack and Jerry. It's still a long rotation. He's actually going to plant the bomb a little bit elevated. When it comes down to it, I don't think it's going to be them losing the bomb. He needs to try and turn this into 1v1. That's exactly what he's going to do. He times it well, but doesn't manage to connect the shot. Tries to stop them pushing through and gets both kills! Maiden, that's massive! A big clutch for GODSENT once again. They've got their 9th round on the board. And forZe, well, I don't know what they can do at this point.
Concede? Maybe? Nah, too early? That was well played by Maiden. Absolutely beautiful. He took that round into his own hands, you know, got the 3rd kill. Obviously to Elmas there, and then there's 1 versus 2 clutch, and he played it perfectly fine. When you're in a situation like that, you can't just sit back in a corner and hope you win the duels. You gotta be proactive. That's exactly what he was. Pushed out the window, tagged them up a little bit, made them basically run into his Molotov towards the door, and then finished the job. That was a well-executed clutch and a very important one. And this is the difference. GODSENT had plenty of opportunity on Inferno to get a big lead, you know, in that first half. Get a big cushion to fall back on. They failed to do so, made too many mistakes, didn't capitalize on the chances. This time around, though, it's a different story. Putting themselves up 9-3 and really putting some massive pressure on forZe. We talked about it before, 10 rounds. That's why I feel that GODSENT is in cruise control. That's why I feel they'll be comfortable heading into second half. Whereas for forZe, if you're sitting at 3 rounds right now, knowing that none of the players really have an impact, none of the players really found themselves comfortable on this map yet, I'd like to see at least 5, maybe even 6 for this half coming out of the CIS squad.
Did Makaleli just miss by a sawn-off? Okay, and then he disconnected from the server.
Well, again, I'm not going to say that happened to me before as well, you know. Oh, I missed a sort of tech issue, you know. There's plenty of ways to move around with that. Probably they have some sound issue once again, so something like that. I'm not going to accuse him of anything, but there's a few tricks out there, Tom, that you wouldn't know of.
Oh, you never know. I feel like the amount of times I heard a TeamSpeak issue when I'm almost certain that someone had just like, oh, I need a snack.
You know how easy that is to pull off in online games?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. When I'm at home, I'm like, I'm almost certain he's just gone to like get a food delivery from the door, or the toilet break. It's like you've had 7 toilet breaks in the last half an hour. Like, what are you doing?
It was the major qualifier in 2014. I was playing for 3D Max, I believe. Me and MSL was sitting in his vacation house, and we were playing the qualifier together at LAN, and then we got that food delivery coming in the middle of the game. So we just had to say that TeamSpeak crashed, and we had to, you know.
I was about to say, it's nice to finally have it confirmed that I'm not just making that up.
That happened in 2014 for a major qualifier. Obviously, that wouldn't be allowed today, as we all play the qualifiers on LAN, and hopefully we're all conducting ourselves a little bit more professionally than we were back then, but
that would be hilarious, though, if it was played on LAN and you just see half the players just walk out and come back with a pizza going, oh yeah, it's because TeamSpeak's obviously other options are available. It could be Discord that's broken.
We got a little Swedish crowd out there, don't we? We got GODSENT fans out there. I like that. We need to see more of those for the 3rd map, which I think at this point is more likely to happen than not. Again, being up 9-3 in the favor of GODSENT, definitely something to make the Swedes happy out there. They could go grab a pizza if they want to. I can't. I'm working.
They could go grab you a pizza.
You know what? I'm sitting in my hand right now. I have a food voucher. Maybe I'm going to go out in the crowd in the half and give one of those to one of the crowd. And they can get a back tour in here, you know. Give me a pizza. And
I thought you were being nice. Like, they could have a pizza. No, you're like, they can go get me.
Of course. That's how it works. I'm a hard-working man. It's tough to talk. Even though I'm pretty sure the Twitch chat right now would be something along the lines of, shut up, casters, and start the game. Out of our control, though. We can't do it, even though that we would like to. Tech issues happens once in a while, and we just have to deal with it. In the meantime, Tom, how do you feel about Christmas?
Oh, I love it.
You do?
I'm a big, well, especially because I live in a different country to where I'm from. So for Christmas, I always go back. I go back to England, see all of my family. It's good. It's good. Eat way too much food, although I do that on a more regular basis than Christmas. But it's an excuse.
Does your family love you?
I think so.
Yeah?
I hope so.
That'd be a good thing. I'm just asking because I'm curious.
If not, then they're probably like, oh, he's coming back for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? That's usually how I feel when I work with certain persons within this industry without mentioning any names.
Can you describe them?
He's Canadian.
And is he here?
Potentially.
Potentially, okay. That narrows it down almost to one person.
Now, who's that?
I can't remember.
No.
Name doesn't click.
No, he doesn't really make an impact on you, does he? Maybe that's the problem. Now we see Michael Lillis still. Is he a little bit frustrated? He shouldn't be. Smile. No, he can hear me right now. Been playing a great series so far. You're up 9-3. Should be happy face on this read here, but obviously dealing with some sound issues. We can't have that. Sound is a very important part of the game, obviously. I know there's a lot of new viewers out there, as always. Also a lot of viewers who are thinking to themselves, why on earth are you saying that? We know that, but you gotta respect the fact that not everyone has played 12,000 hours of Counter-Strike and know that sound.
I'm in that bracket.
In the bracket, yeah.
I have not played 12,000 hours of Counter-Strike.
I checked up yesterday. Combined with 1.6 Counter-Strike Source and Global Offensive on 3 different accounts, I've clocked in 14,000 hours.
Did you ever go outside?
Yeah, rarely, but it happened.
Rarely.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you've changed that a bit. Like most of those hours in the past.
Yes. I'd say the last 2 years I've maybe had, tops, 200 hours.
Oh, okay.
So
but then if you clock in how much you watched,
yeah,
probably goes back up a few thousand hours.
Not going there. I watched like literally 10 hours of Counter-Strike every single day, it feels like. So it's tough, but it's also fun, and it's fun to be at a tournament like this as well, because we get to see some of those teams that we don't normally see on the big circuit. forZe, we have seen them a little bit. We saw them at the major do just fine. We saw them at, as you said, at Moscow winning the entire tournament. That was a big surprise for them to be able to pull off such a big win. But apart from that, teams like GODSENT, Crazy, Heroic for that matter, it's teams that we know can do damage. We know they're decent teams. We know they have potential. We know there's a few prospects within the team, few players that potentially can take the move up, play for even better teams. And it's always nice to get that confirmed and see, how that development is going for those rosters and those organizations. GODSENT is another one that is interesting right now. A team that hasn't really existed for that long. The core of this lineup has been together for quite some time, but it's recently that the results have started to come in for them. And with the addition of Crystal to this lineup, I really feel that we have something going on that could be not a world beater. I'm not going to say they're going to be a top 10 team in the world. Most likely they won't be, but definitely a team that can win tournament like DreamHack Open. They can make damage even on a good run at let's say, Pro League finals if they were to qualify for a big event like that. That would be a team that could go into a playoff bracket with a little bit of luck.
Yeah, and I think that's something that has been almost accustomed to Opens for quite a long time. Like, you even look at teams like ENCE, Vitality, they come in at the Open level and then they win it, then they move on and they go to higher things. And obviously it's nice that now the DreamHack have combined to make an actual tour of everything where it does level up as you go along. You can qualify for Masters, you can qualify for Katowice. It's awesome.
It's fantastic. I mean, next year is going to be so fun to watch because there's a system in place, as you said.
Yeah.
If you're good enough to win a DreamHack Open, you're going to be able to qualify for DreamHack Masters, which is one of those big events where you can really make a name for yourself. So I love the fact that we get these opportunities to see these teams, and I love the fact that the teams themselves have the opportunity to go all the way and basically be, part of this circuit.
Well, I think we waffled long enough.
You think so?
I think that obviously people are probably shouting us to shut up at this point, so for once, we're actually going to listen. I know you don't want to. I know it pains you. But we're going to be back after a short break. Hopefully this will be sorted fairly quickly, so stick with us, and we'll be back with the game shortly. Well, it looks like everything is fixed, everything is sorted, and we're going to be going back into our semifinal.
Shut up, Tom, and start the game. Please?
I can't start the game.
You can't?
Counting down. Oh, God,
there we go. Oh, my... What? Yeah, man. That's a... Is that a seal? I don't know what that was. That's beautiful, beautiful stuff from the production out there. Now we're back into the game. No idea what on earth is going on with that one, but that was a cute little seal. Now back into the game. Maidens. That look weird as hell, but are we live? We're not live.
We're not live.
No, we're not live. You know what? Never mind.
We've been teased.
Yeah. Well, let's get that seal back on, shall we?
Can we get it back?
I don't know. Making a request here. Still some technical issues. We're just teasing you guys out there as well. You thought we were live. Guess what? We're not.
You thought we were live. I thought we were live.
I was just pretending. Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Are you getting like secret information? Because I didn't get that.
Sold it pretty well, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I'm kind of disappointed. I feel bad now. But yeah.
But yeah.
I'm guessing that hopefully this will be something that's fixed a little bit quicker than the last few problems. Maybe this was one that came up just after the other one. It's a little bit of bad luck.
Let's do a quick recap then. We saw the first map. That was Inferno. That was a very exciting game, back and forth. Both teams played not necessarily the best Counter-Strike they can play, but they played some exciting Counter-Strike. forZe ended up winning 16-12, I believe, down to the fact that GODSENT made a few too many mistakes in the first half. They actually had plenty of chances to get off to a good start and potentially even win Inferno, but they couldn't capitalize on it. Ended up losing. Now moving into Dust2, we're currently sitting at a scoreline that says 9-3 for GODSENT, and they have done the exactly different thing than they did in Inferno, which is they are capitalizing on the chances they're being gifted right now. Maiden just made a sick 1v3 clutch a few rounds ago, made sure that he put up his team 9-3. And that's where we stand right now. GODSENT about to take the second map, dare I say it. At least it's looking good for them, and that gives us the potential of a third one, Tom, which I think could be very exciting between two teams who, again, I said, I think there's a lot of more in store for us in terms of quality of play, but excitement they're definitely giving us.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think really for forZe, that they're the ones that are having a lot of the problems based off their own aggression. Like we've seen them pushing all the way up through short like multiple times, and every single time it's failed. And a lot of the time it comes off the back of no utility. Like there's been no flashbangs as they tried to make these peaks. The incendiaries deep into cat have not been there to take away that control from GODSENT. And as we saw when they played crazy on Dust2 as well, if you just give everything over, if you allow them to just force you out of positions with some fairly basic nades, GODSENT capitalize on it 9 times out of 10. They've been very good on their T side of Dust2.
That's exactly what I have liked to see so far from GODSENT. They're not overcomplicating things. They're not trying to reinvent the way you have to play Dust2 or reinvent the, a simple thing within this map. It's just very basic Counter-Strike. It's very effective Counter-Strike, and it's determined Counter-Strike, dare I say it, right? Whenever they spot something on the map, they quickly group up, they quickly go 4 guys together, they just rush up towards long, they rush in towards the B bomb site, but they do it together, not overcomplicating things, not hesitating for 1 second. And if you keep doing that, guy in the screen right here, I mean, keep killing, keep not overcomplicating things. Dust2 is really not that hard to play as long as you stick together and you always make sure you have that trade frag potential, which is exactly some of the stuff that forZe have been struggling to deal with from the side of GODSENT so far in this game. Now, 9-3, we talked about it. If this game is somewhat to be competitive, I would say that a 10-5 half would be okay for both teams. I think forZe with a pistol round, they could easily fight their way back into it. I think easily it's safe to say that forZe T side on Dust2 is the strongest of the two. So still a lot of potential for a nice game here in Dust2, but by the looks of it right now, GODSENT is definitely in a prime position to take this one and force it into a third one, which I think could be exciting.
Yeah, the one thing that worries me a little bit is that the extended break could actually cause some problems for GODSENT, because they were sort of going into a lot of these rounds hot, as we saw from Maiden being able to pull off like a ridiculous clutch. We've seen Zen be absolutely on fire all the way through, like just destroying anybody that got in his way. And I think the only time we actually saw him go down was when he almost aced a round and couldn't quite get the final kill. So the fact that there has been a bit of a break, forZe have had some time to relax. They're going to be like, okay, we're already a map up, we're quite far down, but at this point, they don't have that much to lose on the CT side, so they might start just doing something a little bit different. They've had time to potentially change a few things because of the break, and yeah, I actually wonder if this could have a bit of an effect on forZe and whether or not they could maybe get the last few rounds. And if they do, if this ends a 9-6, they're not out of this by any stretch of the imagination.
No, then it's a completely open game. I said, 9-6, 10-5. I think that's within the area where you say this game is going to be competitive, which is, I guess, what we all would like to see, unless you're a diehard GODSENT fan. Maybe the crowd out there would like to see a quick win as well. But apart from that, this game has every single possibility of becoming competitive, but it requires GODSENT to maybe let the foot off the gas pedal just a little bit, Tom, and maybe it requires a force, to change the way they're playing, because as we spoke about, if we want to go a little bit in depth with it, the aggression they've been showing so far towards Catwalk has not been successful. It's been a little bit lackluster, it's been disjointed, and it hasn't been with the effect that they wanted to. So maybe move away from that. Be aggressive somewhere else on the map. It could be towards long, it could be towards tunnels in B-Dark, push Xe Power inward in AWP. It's a very powerful play. You see JW do it a lot of the times. You see, Liquid is profound fans of pushing in tunnels as well with an AWP if Nitro is having one, or Stewie2K is having an AWP in his hand when he's playing the B bomb side. So plenty of opportunities for forZe to be aggressive, but the Catwalk aggression didn't work out, so maybe you want to try somewhere else.
Well, it looks like I've just seen both teams.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Just don't.
Fingers crossed?
Yeah.
Legs crossed?
Yeah.
Eyes crossed?
Nope. Well, guess my eyes are crossed. Yeah. Pretty much all the time. But
oh wow, I can sort of do one, but it kind of hurts my eyes. I'll be honest.
I do it as per default. I actually can't force it. It's just how I'm born, Thank mom.
A natural talent.
Yes, he didn't really fix me completely. I was born half-made, I guess. I don't know. Works out fine. Been playing my entire career with one eye. So it's all right. It works, If there's anyone else out there sitting and only having one eye for whatever reason, it could be that you put a fork into it when you were a small kid or something like that. All I'm saying is there's still a future for you in Counter-Strike.
Yes. Unfortunately, they did pause the game again.
Yeah, well, good job, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something not Counter-Strike related. We already established the fact that you like Christmas. We established the fact that you think your family loves you, which kind of depressed me that you don't know it. Let's talk about the Twitch chat. I was spending some time here in the break, talking to those guys out there, and some of them are nice guys, surprisingly enough, and some of them are, maybe need a little bit of a, let's say, internet education. So is there anything you want to say to the Twitch chat, Tom, that maybe can enlighten them or help them within the future prospects of their lives, in terms of behaving themselves or making new friends on the internet?
I think something that I've learned from when I was younger is that although it may be like entertaining to be a bit of an arse in the chat,
I definitely vouch for that, yeah.
It doesn't actually make you feel any happier most of the time. Oh. I've noticed that. Maybe something you could learn as well,
That's just very deep from you right there.
That being nice to people can actually make you a bit happier.
See, I realized that 5 years ago, the first 18 years of my life. My God, was I a jerk. I was not fun to be around. I think there's a lot of ex-Counter-Strike players and current professional players who can vouch for that I maybe was not necessarily the nicest guy to play on a team with, but as soon as I realized what you're saying right there, that is actually, it gives you something to be nice.
Also, the other thing, which is more of a threat, if anything, anything you type on the internet is never really gone. So be careful. That's one of those things where you're like, oh God. Like, if you said that when you're 14, it doesn't matter. Someone will bring it up when you're 35. Like, look at all the celebrity scandals that have come out where someone has said or done something. It's like, yeah, I said that 8 years ago. It doesn't matter. You're cancelled. That's the end. So if you ever want to have, like, if you want your name in lights or you want to be in this, don't say anything mean ever. Otherwise, you're screwed. Okay. That's some solid life advice from Tom Bismeyer, currently resident in Kiev, I believe. You can try and find me, but it's a big place. Although I was once walking around my local supermarket and just saw Simple, and I was like, what are the chances of him just being in the exact same place? So, did you get a picture? Obviously, best caster in the world and best player in the world, both in the same place. No, I wasn't there, but yeah. Cool. I did not. I thought, you know what? I'm going to let him go about his day. I don't want to hassle him. Like, it's the same way that if I saw you around the street, I know that firstly you'd purposely try and avoid me. Sure. But also I know that let's let Pimp live his life, Yeah. Maybe I'd give you a wave, you'd ignore me and carry on walking as you do every day. I was out at a restaurant the other night before I got here, and I was just about to set my teeth into this lovely, delicious pizza that I ordered. And all of a sudden, 2 dudes walked over and said, "Can I have a picture?" And I was like, "Sure thing." When I got back, my pizza was cold. What I learned from that, Tom, is I'm never going to do that again. Be mean to people. Okay, we are back into the game. It is live. Thankfully, we've waffled long enough. we don't need to hear more sad stories about pizzas. And why not? Rush B, straight in they go. They're up against a few pistols. Our Mesa is not going to be able to do anything. And that's it. That is one of the fastest rounds we've ever seen. But there is nothing that the CT side can do about this.
No, I love that. I love GODSENT, you know, knowing the economy is bad for forZe, knowing that they can't really invest too much into this one. Coming off a, what is it, half-an-hour break and just straight up.
They were writing the numbers all the way through. It's like, okay, so 700 plus. Okay, they've got no money.
Exactly. They got it all read out, and now they put a 10th round on the board. And more importantly, it's not like the GODSENT money right now is in a good place, but they will be after this round, most likely, unless they somehow manage to mess this one up. I don't believe they will, though.
FaceCrack has a deagle.
FaceCrack has a deagle, XyPower with a scout, but if I'm Maiden here, I'm just going to run back. Yep, checking out, dude. That's the smart decision. And nothing is going to happen to you or your gun, and that is a good thing. GODSENT putting the 10th round on the board. And to be honest, you know, it feels like they're in full control right now. It feels like forZe haven't been able to do anything to really rattle them out. It hasn't been a GODSENT team that was forced to do some sort of sick execute or change up the game plan. They've just been sticking to it because they haven't really been pressured at any point in this game. And that is a comfortable position to be in if you are a Swedish Counter-Strike player. Oh, I guess they're not even Swedish. I don't know why I'm saying this team is Swedish at all. Michael Lille and Maiden is Swedish. They have a Swedish coach. I guess that's about it. It's an international team. And they're doing damn well right now.
Well, we've got that double orb setup back into play. It does mean, again, there's a few grenades missing, which was, we've already mentioned, has been a bit of a problem. And once more, cat control is going to be firmly in the favor of GODSENT. This time they didn't even have to use any utility, which means, wow, this is a freebie. However, XyPower, his passive position actually pays off. He sits back to the site, one of the prime AWP positions on this Dust2 A site, and he is going to get that opener. Zen going to try and, well, pull off a Maiden now that Maiden is dead. Makes his way actually into the smoke. I don't think Jerry has any clue that his opponent is currently sat there.
You're right about that. Question is, what can Zen do about this option? He's gifted nothing at all. Jerry takes him down. Stucker, though, with a quick trade frag, but he has to fall back for middle. Here we go. GODSENT being put in the position right now where they don't really know where to go. Do they want to execute in towards this B bomb side, or do they just want to take it slow? Seems like they made up their mind. FaceCrack, though, he's going to watch lower dark, and he's going to take down Crystal, and he is fully aware that Michael Lille should be around there as well. XyPower being caught off guard. Maybe that's the opening they need. FaceCrack now could be sandwiched by two players. There we go. This is the time you back off, dude. Nope. He stays there, he duels, and he loses the duel. Stucker with another kill. Thank God for him. Almasir is there to help out his teammate, and it all ends like that. That was a little bit scary just for a second there. Again, you know, FaceCrack probably could have just fall back. You know, 30 seconds left of the round, 3 versus 2. There's no way you're going to lose that if you stay alive, but maybe there's also a sign of forZe, you know, trying to force the issue a little bit. They're trying to force their way back into this game. Want some success, want a good feeling moving into the second half. In the end, they ended up winning the round, putting a 4th on the board. Now this 5th one, that's going to be important. I said it plenty of times already, but 10-5, I believe we have an open game, a competitive game, because forZe's strength on Dust2 is definitely going to be that T side, powered by XyPower and the AWP.
Bomb still actually going to be in spawn, so looking like this is just going to be a slower play coming out. More of a default, watching early on. Trying to challenge into that B side, but there's the secondary or patiently waiting there for anybody to make their way in that direction. And it's looking like they might just try split back into mid once again. They've had quite a lot of success actually just fighting in that direction, even though in the last round it didn't go too well. And their cat control, I think, well, is something we've mentioned about 15 times. They've been able to get it without much trouble at all.
It's been working for them perfectly fine, as you said. Now XyPower once again being posted up with the AWP here. Question is, can he connect the shots? He spots the head, but I think they saw him too, so they're very aware of this situation. There we go, though. Michael Lille goes down and XyPower falls back. That's exactly what you want to see. Get the opening, fall back. Zen not able to do anything about Flit in middle. Actually, he's being taken down. I don't know what on earth Flit is doing right there. Please play the advantage. Finally, you got the opening kill, and here we go. The B-split is going to come in full force. All 4 players from GODSENT out in middle. Flit in a good position, getting the first one. Not able to get Crystal, though. Jerry taking down Zen. A little bit lucky, though. Crystal down to 1 HP as well. This is falling apart in the somewhat Swedish run. And there we go. The first half ends 10-5. A good half from GODSENT and a decent recovery coming out from forZe Clan. It could have been worse. It could have been way worse.
Yeah, no, definitely. They managed to get the last couple of rounds, which, considering they'd only had 2 buy rounds all the way through, that's not bad, like to close it out nicely. And it is something you can see from a lot of teams. It's something we saw previously when, Crazy were 11-1 up and they almost managed to throw it away in that matchup yesterday, where just the last couple of rounds, that's all it took. And that was the difference maker that, they just about got themselves over the line. So we're going to look into it for at least the T side to say, okay, you've got that 10-5, you've got yourself into a good position. Can you now do what you did previously and close it out versus Crazy, or your forZe going to give you a much better run for your money?
I would put my money on the fact that forZe is going to give them a run for the money. I think their T side, what I've been seeing of it, both at the Major, during Moscow, and some of those tournaments they've been playing online as well, it's a strong T side. I think they're tough to play against, especially considering that Exi Power reminds me a little bit of, if I have to relate to another player, maybe Voxic, in the way that he charged the game on Dust2. He's very aggressive, likes to be aggressive towards long, likes to always tag a guy through the double doors in middle. So if Exi Power can get hands in an AWP relatively early in this game after winning the pistol round, then that's when I would start to worry if I'm a GODSENT fan. We see the pace, though, being brought up from forZe. This is going to be a straight-out rush towards long. He's not going to expect that at all. Crystal goes down straight away. Good thing is, though, there's 3 players to deal with this. Michael Lille answers back straight away. Now Smokes is being put down. It's not a good one, though. Leaves a little bit of a gap open. Sen with another kill, and now we find ourselves in a 3 versus 3.
Oh, nice couple of shots from Almeza, though. Gives them the man advantage back. Rotation still coming in from Zen, and Almeza's just going ham at the moment. Leaves it all onto Stico. 1 versus 3. Doesn't have a kit available to him, just needs to hit the shots. And Almeza, 4 kills in the pistol round. A big start to this half, as we mentioned for forZe. If they can just get the pistol, get themselves right back into the match, it's not done.
It's not done at all, and we'll have to see what the response is going to be from GODSENT. Do they want to force up, invest a lot of money into this round, maybe break the economy once again on the forZe side? Or do you want to play it more safe, make sure that you save up as much money as possible? Seems like Michael Lille invested into a scout, worked out just fine, tagged down Jerry in the beginning, but apart from that, that's all there is on the CT side. They decided to play it more casually, and they decided to play more defensively in terms of managing their economy. No need to invest too much into a round that you most likely are going to lose anyway. I like that from GODSENT. You're up 10-6. No need to take any unnecessary risks this early in the game. Maybe Michael Lille can make it work with the scout. Tagging another player here, Flit, down to 28 HP. Always good with attack, especially when your teammates have pistols, but if you don't finish up the kills, it's not really worth a lot.
Crystal does actually manage to hit a headshot onto one of the healthier players, so the 2 low players are still standing. Zen is going to be able to pick off one of them and look to retrieve an AK-47 as well. It's whether or not it's worth challenging, but with that pick, it definitely is. Goes for the push back. Even, is he going to make his way straight through the smoke? Zen gets another round, closes the round! 4 kills out from Zen. I've said he's been running the show so far in this map. 22 kills to his name, and that was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. Well played by Sen, and what a terrible round from forZe. They were being caught off guard 3 different occasions. One time in middle where Crystal got a pick. Michael Lille was able to tag 2 guys down as well. They were taking so many unnecessary risks, so many unnecessary duels, instead of just going 4 or 5 guys together, making sure the trade threat would always be there. No, they got caught off in the open, and Sen capitalized off that completely as he was supposed to with 4 kills. Another tag by Michael Lille this time around, though. forZe have nothing invested into this round. A few pistols, a few armor, It's all they got, though, and they spend all the money on it, but it's not really a lot to it. Deagle and armor, is that going to be enough to take down an entire CT side of GODSENT with AK-47, SGs, and scouts? I highly doubt it. Really in a tough spot now. Sit down, dude.
Well, they are going to try and just brute force their way through middle. Makalele's there with the scout. Another tag hit for him. It's Zen's chance again. Just going to try and fall back. Doesn't want to overface. Doesn't want to hand an AK into the forZe roster. I do have to say, I think Zen's decision-making the majority of the time is spot on. He does seem to get it right. Stico gives them a man advantage, and with 2 players so desperately low, you can almost count it for 2. He's still going to finish off these players. He's also going to get tagged low, and Flit with a nice dig shot. They do have to be careful in this scenario. It's back into a 2 versus 2. Things have slipped away a little bit. Flash just to try and throw the bomb across, and it will be successful. They've got to be careful from long. That's where Crystal's coming in from behind.
That's it. That's the duel right here. That's going to decide whoever wins the round, and that's going to be Jerry. I think there's a very good possibility now that forZe will win this round, and there we go. Sen goes down. What a game this is. It's messy. It's not beautiful. It's scrappy, and we're looking at another situation like we had on Inferno where GODSENT, they have every single opportunity of closing out this game, getting off to a good lead, but they don't capitalize on it. Somehow managed to throw away this round as well. Not good enough.
I would like your quote from the beginning of the round and then Zen's face at the end of the round just to be made into a compilation of just, yeah, I don't really see a way that they can actually lose this round. And then just like him with his head in his hands.
Yeah, watch me now, hold my beer, guys. I'm gonna find a way. It's not good enough, let's be honest. I don't want to be that negative guy, but it's easy to be negative when round after round you see people just mess up more horrible than before. Power goes down to Sen. They once again invested everything they have into this round. And AWP and Sen works out just fine in the beginning. Now this long duel, that's going to be it. Dust2 takes down FaceCrack, and there we go. Another deagle kill by Dust2. And just as we talked about it, another round that is going to swing back in the favor of GODSENT. What's going on in this game, Tom?
This is the forcebuy wars. And it seems like nobody's able to get out on top. The thing is for GODSENT, although they're the ones coming out with a weaker buy each time because it's more costly to buy on that CT side, they are closer to closing things out. So if they can weather the storm, if they can come out of this on top, it's going to put them firmly in the favor. The T's almost seem confused as what to do. They took mid control, they had a peek over to B, they're now making their way into short, just looking for a gap, looking for a mistake from GODSENT, but well, you can now see the CT side. They're passive other than Dust2, who has got so much information. They're going to have a very good idea where these players currently are. Nice shot from Flit to at least start things off, and it does give them a way onto the site. They've got to be careful for Madden, but he's actually going to take his time, and Dust2 actually drops the bomb from behind. That's a far bigger problem for Jerry. 20 seconds on the clock, 4 players to find. He gets the first, but he's tagged too low. Maiden's going to trade things out, and it's 12-7 now in favor of the CTs.
Good stuff from Dust2. Well played, especially along with those 2 deagle kills. Bet we're going to see them right here. There we go. That's a beautiful shot on FaceCrack. If he doesn't hit that, there's a good chance FaceCrack will just remove Dust2's head with a Mac 10. So once again, we see a force buy prevail, and once again, we see force buying. Getting tired of this, but let's see how this one is going to work out. We got a SG and Power. He's going to have to be the guy that's going to make it work, and we get 2 players stuck within the car now. Maybe that could be a little bit of a dangerous situation. Question is whether the force wants to take those duels with the Deagles and the SG. I highly doubt it. Michael Lily's in a good position here now. Don't get caught off guard. He won't reposition himself. Make sure to smoke off catwalk. We're going to see a run boost there. I like that. See how that's going to work out. And all of them are just going to face at the same time. Michael Lily can't connect the first one. Still can though. And there we go. Michael Lily finds the second one. The third one as well. Great job by the Street. And the round is effectively over at this point. Only Almacell left with an SG. 4 players to find. And yeah, they know where he is. It's going to be tough for him to do anything about this. Smoke goes down. He's desperately trying to find something. He doesn't have the bomb. It's one of those situations where there's not even a chance. And Crystal, he says, nope, not going to have it. And now they're being forced into actually having an eco round for the first time in this game, unless they want to keep forcing with no money whatsoever, which I think would be a bad idea. But it annoys me that when you play that game, when you play into that game, if you're forced, you don't give yourself a chance of actually getting back into the game. You don't give yourself a chance to put an AWP on Power. You don't run a default. You don't feel out the map. You don't really get a sense for whether your T-side would be successful or not, because you never gave yourself a chance to do so. Not a fan. They should maybe here.
Seeing these same confident plays coming out from him all the way through this matchup. Dust2 said he was owed a few extra kills, but he's not going to be able to.
I mean, when you receive 3 headshots in 1 round, I think it's fair enough that you end up dead. That was somewhat of a weird situation. We see some crowd coming out there, the GODSENT boys, and I like that. Get more people out there in the arena and cheer for the Swedes. So, do we call them Swedes? There's 2 Swedish players on the lineup and a coach. I guess
and it's owned by Swedes,
and
right?
I think we can justify it.
You can do it. I don't think anybody's going to complain.
No.
And if they do, who cares?
That's true. Honestly, who cares? This is it, though. 14-7, forZe. They have to win this round. They have to do it convincingly. They have to get back into the game if they want to have any chance whatsoever of making this comeback just seem somewhat possible against the semi-Swedish team of GODSENT. That's the best I can do. smoking off CT spawn. Looks like they want to hit the B split straight away. Sen, good position there, has a Molotov. Smoke goes down to double doors. This is a great position to be in. Question is, will they wait for those Molotovs to disappear? They will. Facing some aggression from CT spawn, not getting the kills, and here we go. Crystal combined for 2, 3 frats as well. Mike and Lily getting a 4th round effectively over once again, and this is going to be it. GODSENT is going to run away with this one, and they're going to do it convincingly once again.
Now Mazer with 4 players waiting on B. And 1 behind him as well. A nice round. A couple of clean rounds even coming in for GODSENT on that CT side. Money is booming. They are set up that even if there is a mistake in this next round, they're more than dominating. And
it must be nice to be GODSENT right now in the sense that I think I can at least point out 3 or 4 times where they made crucial mistakes they shouldn't make, yet you're still winning 15-7. It just shows how good they're actually playing well now, and the potential of the team as well. If you can eliminate some of those mistakes, you can be even better. And it's hard to be better than winning potentially 16-7 against a team like forZe and Dust2. So kudos to the semi-Swedish team. They're doing a good job right now.
Looking like this is about to build into a quick B play. Crystal as the owner defender. We've seen him as one of the top players in the tournament so far. Looking to hold on here, but it's actually Sicko from the window to do the damage alongside Makalele. Only 2 players stand in their way from a 3rd map. And it's going to be Flip and Hexypower within the site. There's still utility for the CTs as well, and already Flick going to be dinked up as he looks to cross. A peek out from Hexypower. He needs to kill basically everyone here, and he can't do it. It is going to be GODSENT dominating that 2nd map. A strong T side followed up in the 2nd half. And while that was a very good showing from them, it didn't really look like forZe were in that match whatsoever.
No, not at all. It felt very lackluster from the side of the CIS squad. Again, you gotta give credit to GODSENT. I feel it was their play that made forZe look so silly. They had a few answers to it, right? The catwalk aggression didn't work out. Hexypower never really got going with the AWP. So overall, you just gotta give a lot of credit to GODSENT. They really shut them down, and there was a beautiful display on Dust2 once again. We saw it against Crazy winning 16-7. We saw it here against forZe.
Yeah.
Playing Dust2 against GODSENT, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. They're looking methodical. I think that's one of the things we really have to give it to. But either way, there's still 1 more map to go. It's still a chance for the CIS team to turn this around. We'll be back after a short break.